Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to clean a Taurus G3C. We're only going to use a couple of items. Mostly we're going to use Ballistol, a Boresnake, some cotton swabs, a brush, and some cut up t-shirts. That's all we need to clean this gun. So first we want to make sure it is unloaded, completely unloaded. Now we're going to field strip the gun just by pulling the slide back. Grab these takedown levers on both sides, pull them down, let go of the slide, let go of the takedown levers, point the gun in a safe direction, press the trigger, and the slide will come right off the front of the gun. Press on the recoil spring and guide rod and pull that up, remove that. Now the barrel will lift right out the same way. Alright, that's as far as we need to take it apart in order to clean the G3C. So let me just show you first how dirty it is, and the dirtiest place is going to be the inside of the barrel, also called the bore. Alright, so if you look down the bore there, you can see dirt on the inside, pieces of the copper jacket, and some lead probably in there, and that's mostly what we want to get out of there. Other places that are going to be a little dirty are right in here in the slide cuts. Usually get some buildup around here where the slide moves back and forth along the frame. I recently discovered Ballistol, which is a great way to clean your gun. It's an aerosol, so you just spray it on. Very little mess. It lubricates, protects, it also cleans. It's going to dissolve traces of copper, lead, and brass inside the gun, and it's safe to use on pretty much all surfaces. Alright, so first all I'm going to do is spray a bunch of Ballistol inside the barrel. Let it kind of foams up a little bit, let it build up inside. Put it all in there, and then I'm just going to let that sit for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to do the same thing with the slide. A couple of things we need to be careful of. This is called the breech face right here, and that little hole right there is where the firing pin comes out. We don't want to get any oil in the firing pin channel. So that would be back here as well. You don't want to get any oil down in this area. So just want to put some, get a little bit of Ballistol in there. Alright, a little bit on this side. I'm just going to get a little bit here, being careful not to get it into the wrong spots. I'm going to put a little bit down here as well. And we're just going to let that kind of sit there, start working on the crud. On the frame we're going to do a similar thing. We can just get a little here, a little here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And just a little bit in here to clean some of these surfaces. A little bit of oil down in there is not going to hurt anything. Alright, now we're just going to kind of let everything sit for a few minutes. The recoil spring and guide rod, you don't really need to clean that much. If you see a lot of crud in there, get your brush and just kind of brush it out. Alright, but you don't really need to put any solvent or cleaner on here, and then give it a good wipe down. Right now we're just going to wait a few minutes and come back and clean up the rest of the gun. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is get a Hoppy's Boresnake. A Boresnake is just a long piece of fabric that has copper brushes embedded into it, and the copper brushes are going to scour the inside of the bore, and then as I pull it through, the rest of this material is going to act like a whole bunch of patches. So instead of putting a bunch of patches through here, which is messy and time consuming, we're just going to run a Boresnake through a couple of times. So you just drop the end through and you just pull it. It's a little bit tight, so those brushes are going to get a good scrub in there. Alright, pull it through. And that's going to clean it up. I usually do it a couple of times. Alright. Alright, just ran it through a couple of times. Now let's take a look. Alright, boy, that looks a whole lot cleaner than it was. Put a little Ballistol on a cotton swab, and then we're going to clean the feed ramp here with some Ballistol, get that nice and shiny, and then clean around all these other areas here on the outside that we didn't get with the Boresnake. You can just put some of this on the outside, just kind of spread it around. Again, it is safe, and then you can take some of your cut up t-shirts to Just wipe it all down. Comes up nice and shiny. Alright, and that's about all you need to do for the barrel. That is pretty darn clean. Next, let's do the same thing with the slide. So what I'm going to do is put a cotton cloth over there and then use the bristles of the brush to kind of push that down inside, clean up all the crud out of there. Alright, and then once you get everything you can that way, then you get your cotton swabs on the job here. I really like these cotton swabs. They have a regular end and a pointy end. The pointy end is perfect for getting in these slide cuts right here. I'll put a link down in the description for these. These are my favorite dual tipped cotton swabs for gun cleaning. More swabs. And the beauty of Ballistol is if you don't get all of the Ballistol out of there, that's fine because it's a lubricant as well. That's just going to help prevent rust, and it's going to help the gun work well as also. Don't forget to get the breech face here. Alright, then just keep going until you get it as clean as you want it to be. Don't forget to get areas like here around where the barrel slides in and out. And if you need to clean the outside of the slide, just get a rag, put a little Ballistol on the rag. Not much, just a little bit. Kind of wipe it down. Alright, so the slide, alright, slide's nice and clean. Let's move on to the frame. Kind of do the same thing. Get a cloth and the brush and just kind of brush the areas where we got the oil, Ballistol oil in there. Alright. Brush does a real nice job of pushing the rag down inside there to get a lot of that crud out. And again, once you're done using your rag, you can get your cotton swabs. Just use your cotton swab to clean the rest of the areas that you couldn't get to. And remember, the Ballistol doesn't hurt plastics or anything like that, so you can get it on your Glocks or any of these guns that are plastic frames. Looks like we've got the frame cleaned up real nice, and the slide. Looks like everything is good to go. Now, as far as lubrication, you really don't need much lubrication on these guns at all. So what I'm going to do is just put a little Ballistol on a cotton swab, and I'm just going to put a little bit of lube on these frame slides here. Little tiny coating, and I might put a little in the slide cuts like that, just a little bit, and on the outside of the barrel, just teeny tiny little light coat back here, a little bit on these lugs, not drops of oil, just a little bit of residue is all you need. And that's about it for lubrication. And this gun's going to run just fine. Put the barrel back in, recoil spring and guide rod goes together just like that. And then just line it up on your slide and roll it straight back. Nice and straight. Be careful when you get to the ejector because you don't want that to scratch the back of your gun if you don't have it lined up right. So nice and slow through there. And then force it. Alright. And then check the slide back and forth a little bit. Make sure it's good. Any last little bits of Ballistol that come out, you can just wipe off. Shouldn't really be any. And that's about it for your firearm. Now it's ready to go. Next thing you're going to want to do is a function and safety check. I'll put a link up here in the corner as well as down in the description, and you can run through just some quick tests to make sure your gun is functioning normally. If you need to clean the magazine, I'll have a link for that as well. I'll put that up in the corner so you can take your magazine apart and clean that up. Alright, thanks for watching. Please check out the description below for all the items we used here in the video, and thanks for watching.